Each person has his own world. There are 8 billion human worlds in the world and countless worlds of living beings, connections with the external environment. My world was created by the achievements of modern science. Therefore, my world began with the Big Bang. The Big Bang evolves as a thermodynamic system for 13.7 billion years. In the Big Bang, temperature and pressure decrease towards heat death. Going to the heat death, energy is transformed into more complex structures of matter. Life on Earth emerged 4.5 billion years ago as a solution of Big Bang to combat heat death. Here's how scientists imagine the Big Bang evolved. These are my first ancestors. They appeared on Earth 4.5 years ago. Perhaps they came from space. As a result of evolution, my ancestors became more mentally capable, and somewhere around 300,000 years ago, thinking man appeared. The essential improvement of our lives occurred when we started farming. We were able to obtain food reserves. Specialization and cooperation of labor began. When people began to live better, greed awakened in the souls of the strongest and most capable people. They seized public lands, material and spiritual values, and became rich. The weakest members of society became poor or slaves. My ancestors were most likely among them. Therefore, the poor and slaves were in the majority. Several thousand years ago, the first slave states were formed on agricultural lands. Greed created an army, a police force, in order to contain the slave struggle against injustice. Slave rebellions were brutally suppressed. Our ancestors, if they were rebellious slaves or poor people, were nailed to crosses. Slave rebellions led to feudalism. Society became more complex and a little better for the former slaves, poor peasants. They were leased small plots of land. In the cities, free artisans created workshops. The state was ruled by greedy monarchs and rich landowners. The development of science, technology, and shipbuilding allowed for great travel to the lands of less developed countries. Greed began to rob the wealth of other countries and destroy other peoples. Poor citizens, even in the more developed feudal countries, had no rights. Greedy rulers and landowners took most of the national wealth. Poor peasants were forced to die in colonial wars. The power of greedy kings and feudal lords was strengthened by the church. To intimidate the people, the Inquisition burned sorcerers, free-thinking scientists, and disobedient peasants at the stake for fictitious crimes. My ancestors were most likely among the majority of the poor. The disenfranchised position of the poor gave rise to bourgeois democratic revolutions. The capitalists came to power. Capitalism is now the dominant system on Earth. The state structure under it has become even more complex. Political parties have appeared. Governments have become elective. The development of scientific and technological progress and large-scale production have significantly improved the systems of transport, communications, and construction. This has significantly improved the living conditions of a large number of people. At the same time, due to the greed of rulers and entrepreneurs, economic injustice and political tension remain in society. Greed has brought a lot of grief to people. It was the price for accelerated scientific and technical progress. I am glad that I live in the time of the internet, artificial intelligence, and the reduction of physical labor. The information society, the level of which has been reached by the most developed countries, is becoming more complex with soft economic relations and a political system. The development of society occurs according to the laws of the Big Bang. The laws of the Big Bang force us to fight the onset of heat death. That is why we went into space. To revive the cooled planets. I realize that by working on Earth, I also indirectly participate in the cosmic actions of humanity.